Is the 55-inch Samsung S95F worth your time? That's what we're going to be looking at, but first, it's time to unbox it. Stand assembly is exactly like it was last year on the S95D, so these little hooks that you have right here, you're going to line them up with these holes. Once you do that, they'll fall in place. It can be a bit finicky, so just be a little bit patient, and then it falls into place like that. Then you're going to get your screws. You have 2 packs of them. I'm going to do the first pack here, and I'm going to put it right into here. And again, much like I said in the last year's stand assembly, this is going to look very white, like you can't put anything in it. Zoom in so you can see that. It's not actually that you can't put something in it. As you see, there's a slit in there. It's just their way of doing things. So you line up all 4 screws, and after you do that, then we're going to screw it in. Now for me, it's 2025. Go to Walmart and get you one of these for $9 and save yourself all of the screwing that you have to do with screwdrivers or getting a big ass drill for no reason, literally. All right, and then we're just gonna do one of these. And it buttons up pretty quickly, obviously. All right. Okay, and just like that, you have all the screws in for the first part of the stand. This next part is pretty self-explanatory. You have a little door here, peel the tape off of it, open that little latch, and then literally take these and line them up with the holes. It's kind of hard to do with one hand, but you do that, line it up, push it down, okay? And after you push it down, it'll sit on the grooves, as so. And then all you literally do from that point is literally just close this door, which again, you might have to wiggle around. Now in my case, I just had to use my fist and hit it, and then that basically put that door back down. It is a pain in the ass. That's probably one of the more annoying parts. Just keep that in mind. Now you put the stand on, this big ass piece, onto the back of the TV, quite obviously, right? Except one problem. Not all the screw holes are gonna be cut right if you're like me. And if you can see here, it's not in all the way. And look at that one. Can't go in all the way. That's because they literally cut the screw holes all fucked up. This also happened last year on the S95D. So I don't know what broken pencil bastard is using the laser cutting machine for these. They need to be fired, and they need to hire somebody that knows how to use the damn machine, because you literally can't screw in the fucking screws all the way. Now this isn't totally detrimental, but when you pay, what, $2,500+ for a TV, this shit better be on point, and it's not, because this looks cheap as fuck. As you see, the screws started to strip a little, so we had to stop, because literally they don't go in the right way. They just don't go in. So keep that in mind. So if we look at the anti-glare, it's pretty damn good. I mean, it's the same as it was on the S90D. Honestly, it's very hard to tell the difference between the two. And I mean, right down to the one connect box, if you could see that, they're literally exactly the same. So literally, we are gonna really have to see what's different from one to the other. And we're gonna be comparing it against the 90D right there. So that's what we have going on right now. We're gonna, though, complete this initial setup process and all that good noise. Okay, so now we've turned on the TV for the very first time. It's going to ask you to scan the QR code.
Select the right button to start the setup.
Okay. How negotiable is this QR code thing? I don't see a way out of that. It says press the right button to start the setup. We're doing that. Literally pressing the right button, and it's not listening at all. And it's paired, so I don't know what its problem is. Okay. Pairing it, I guess, was what it wanted for us to be able to use a remote, which is stupid. But we did that. So now it's taking us to the welcome screen. And here we are at the welcome screen. Let's get started. We're going to just click next, cancel, because I'm not going to use any of that. Skip all that. No Wi-Fi. Remember, keep your TVs offline, folks. Never, ever put your TVs online. Okay, no, I'm just gonna skip that. I don't want to create a pin right now. Can we not do that? What the fuck? I said later. Why do they make you create a pin? That's fucking stupid. Okay. And I guess they want us to create a pen. Very irritating. I don't see it. Why do I need a fucking pen? This is so stupid. Okay. So that's kind of the first time I've ever seen that where you're required to have a pen. We did that. The typical Samsung startup that they have for all their TVs comes on the screen, sings a little jingle, and then that's it. And then you're in your TV for all intents and purposes. Now remember, I'm keeping it offline because screw all of that BS that happens when you put it online. But that being said, we're going to go and show you what the picture quality looks like now. So looking at the picture quality, there's not a whole lot that I'm noticing that has a lot of potential. First thing I'm seeing is that it's really, really, really blue. This is something that Samsung does pretty much every year, and this year isn't special. So if you think that they're going to stop doing that, they're not. It's a very blue picture. We're going to open up our settings and go through all of our options that we have, okay? So under the picture calibration, we have these presets. Dynamic, it's bright, but it's very blue. Standard, looks a lot better than dynamic. Eco, looks better but dimmer than standard. Movie mode, looks very green. Filmmaker mode, looks the same as movie mode, just dimmer. And that's it. And that's literally all you get. So it ain't great, right? For this, I'll just leave it on standard because people always complain about eco mode. Special note for Samsung users, though, with modern Samsung TVs especially. If you have standard and eco, they're the same picture preset. The only difference is this targets a lower level of brightness out of the box, but you obviously through your expert settings can go in and brighten up eco mode from 18 all the way to its max, right? And call that a day. Now I'll tell you that brightness is pretty damn impressive. I mean, very impressive. This TV is very bright. There are no two ways about that. Yeah, this is a bright ass TV for sure. It's gonna be fun to run some numbers, but yeah, let's go through some of the finer points. Okay, so picture options. You have the following. You have all your same contrast and core. I call these core settings, right? Brightness, contrast, sharpness, color, tint. Core settings. You have all that. Auto HDR remaster is every bit as useless as it was on the S90D. It does have more of like you can see it doing something, but all I really see it doing, I'm not even joking, is just oversaturating color. That's all it does. You toggle it on and off. That's all it does. Oversaturates color. I mean, I don't know. It's gonna be for somebody. It's not for everybody. You can use it. Maybe you don't use it. I don't know. It does take a little bit away from your contrast, I'm noticing, but gives you more vibrant color. So that's all. It really should be called vibrant color because that's all it does. The peak brightness is set to high by default. Contrast enhancer set to high. This is a little bit of a cheat that Samsung likes to do. I don't like it because what it does is it makes your TV seem super, super, super bright because they tie brightness to contrast enhancer. Always turn this to low, and then you'll see what the TV's brightness actually is. From that to that, you can see where it's shaved off some. But you got your contrast back, and for those who don't know, this is why I use eco mode. So when you have a Samsung TV, okay, contrast enhancer, every time you go to low, you're gonna get more contrast out of it than high or even with it off. It just, by a lot. Look, there is it off, there is it on. It's a big difference as far as what you get contrast wise. This is just a general like setting up your TV before you join the membership and get settings. This is one of the things you should know. Now this is the only mode second to standard that this applies, because if you go to like, let's say movie mode, you cannot do this, okay? So if I go into movie mode, I go into my expert settings in movie mode, and then I go into, where's contrast enhancer? I'm pretty sure I just blew by it. Okay, we go to contrast enhancer. If I go to low, all it does is open up shadow detail. That's probably really hard to see. So I'm gonna raise the brightness, okay? It's way too damn dim anyway. Okay, so we're raising our brightness to show you this right here, okay? And raise that peak brightness to high. There we go, fantastic, okay. Now we can see what the fuck's going on. Okay, we're gonna go into contrast enhancer. If you go into low, see how it just raises your brightness? Look at the sky, it gets brighter. Brighter sky, brighter everything. It's elevating your brightness beyond a normal state. It's a shadow detail raiser of the worst variety, because you look at all the detail you'll have here, it takes it all away. It's useless in every other preset, which is why I don't use them. And I use Eco specifically because it just has better power management and sometimes a bit of kind of like a unique nature to the picture that standard lacks by a hair. Again, these are nuanced differences you'll know with time. Okay, but you notice what happens when I go off to low, off to low. Look at the sky. You notice how it's bright and raised, and then it gets darker and you get more contrast. That's why I use the eco modes. For anybody who needed like an actual visual demonstration, it actually does serve a purpose. Okay, that out of the way. You still have your shadow detail, your gamma. You can toggle between 2.2 with BT1886. ST2084 is HDR. It's going to be grayed out. HLG is useless. I don't know why they included it in the TV. The gamma is right there. You still have all your same options. Your color space is pretty much the same as it was last year. You have auto, normal, native, and custom. For most people who don't want to do any work whatsoever, just go to normal and you'll be fine for most of your stuff. Just a little pro tip there. Color boosters on low. You can set it to high. It'll just become way oversaturated. You could turn it off for a little bit extra contrast, but again, you've got to tune the TV in order to get the most out of it. Color tone is set to standard. You have all the same ones: cool, standard, warm 1, warm 2, so on and so forth. You have white balance set to, it's a 2-point white balance. It's the same, 20 points still grayed out. And these modes, your picture clarity options are the same. You have your custom. It starts off when you go from auto to custom. It already starts off maxed out. So that for me is a good thing because I want it maxed out. And I imagine they know if you're going to custom, you probably want it maxed out too. So they just did it for you by default. The clear motion option is still a flickery mess. Don't even waste your time with it. It's a joke. The standard is what it's set to by default for noise reduction. You can go to high, but I never really need more than standard, at least on the old TV. Now, what's really unique about this year is that they have blue light reduction. This, I cannot stress how imperative it is that you have a blue light reduction feature where you can turn on blue light and then still go in and calibrate your white balance on top of that. That's how you get some fucking wonderful, beyond beautiful picture quality that normally would not have been possible. So just keep that in mind when you're doing, again, creative setups and profiles and stuff for your room and all that good stuff. Picture sizes are still what they are. You can go in and do custom fidget screen, all that good stuff. And that's basically it for that part. Your sound options, I mean, they're pretty much as rudimentary as they always are. You only have amplify and standard. Obviously, amplify would be the better of the sound options. You can go into expert settings and try to play around with this, but you're going to need a sound system. This TV will not have good speakers if it's anything like the S95D. So that basically is that part of it, okay? So, I mean, for all intents and purposes, I mean, you got AI mode and everything, but AI is uglier than shit. You turn it on, it dims your picture and makes everything really, really blue. This is what AI thinks you want to watch TV like. I don't know why they're obsessed with the color blue, but they are clearly obsessed with the color blue. Bad. Like, it's bad. I don't know, and it's dim. Like, I don't know what's wrong with them. But that's what they think AI wants you to do. So their AI this year is useless garbage, and that's what you're paying all this extra money for, aside from the brightness, which obviously we're going to test the brightness so far. Brightness, or at least brighter claims, have definitely been fulfilled. I don't know if it's, to what they claim, but, we'll test that out. Okay, so I'm going to make sure I'm back in the preset mode I like, which I am. I'm in Eco. Yeah, I mean, out of the box, it don't look great. I see a lot of raised blacks, elevated blacks, whatever you want to call it. A serious and massive lack of contrast, color. This shit is ugly, and that looks muddy. You have no real detail at all in this scene at all, especially up here. I run these demos thousands of times in a year, and I'm telling you, like, it just does not look good. Her face, zero detail, zero skin tone like it's supposed to have, and this is what they think you want to watch. I don't know. It's very, very unfinished is the word for the image quality. It's a very unfinished picture out of the box. Now, I will be making settings for this. Make sure you join the membership. I can't stress that enough. That is the way you unlock and optimize the full potential of what your, again, televisions can do. It's a lot like buying a brand new gaming PC and not optimizing the settings in your control panel. You're never going to see what it can do. You'll get the stock version of something really powerful. Even if you have the most powerful card, it's the same thing here. you always need to tune and optimize, and this is no exception. And luckily for you guys, I really know what I'm doing here. I'm the best in the world at these TV optimizations, and you'll see that throughout this process. So again, join and always go through the playlist to see if I have other settings for TVs that you may have that I'm not talking about in this video, because I always do settings for all of these different TVs. That being said though, as far as the initial picture quality, it's okay. I mean, it's what we can expect out of the box. It looks like shit. I mean, again, that's why I say it's okay. Most people won't even bat an eye at it if they come from a cheaper TV. They'll be like, wow, the colors are so vibrant. I mean, again, it's if you don't know, you don't know, right? But once you know and you see a difference and you know what to look for, this picture is shitty. I mean, it's not going to do it for you. But for a general person that is just buying a TV to have a nice name brand TV, then I guess go for it. But for anybody that wants quality, I'm going to have to really button this thing up and see if it has that same potential as the S95D. We will again be comparing it to the 90D, and it's just going to be a lot of fun to see where it goes from there, because I can tell you from initial impressions, I'm not impressed. It looks really bad. Like, you might not be able to see this. There's a lot of fog and haze in the black levels, and I don't know what the hell is going on there, because it's an OLED, okay? I'm going to open up my camera sensitivity light so you can see all that. Look at that. What the fuck is that? Like, all of that is not black. That is gray like an IPS panel. I'm kind of confused. I would be lying if I said I wasn't confused. I'm like, why is my OLED looking like an IPS? Who knows? We'll figure that out. I don't know. But regardless, you can clearly see we've got a ton, and I mean a ton of work to do. I mean, look at how gray the black level is here. That's not black. That it does not feel like about an OLED, right? So again, a lot of work to do. But let me know what you guys thought about this in the comment section down below. As always, I want to thank you guys so much for watching the #1 brand in honesty. Until the next video, I'll see you guys later.